Marissa, and I'm going to be talking about why I think teachers should give homework. This is a joint project, and the opposite side is going to be told by my partner, Nicole Sawyer. So I think that teachers should give homework because homework has many benefits that I often didn't see until I actually got into college. So one of those benefits is homework encourages outside learning. Have you ever heard of the saying, practice makes perfect? Well, that can definitely be applied through homework when it comes to your classwork. I'm a tutor at the college, and often I'm asked, why are my math and chemistry skills so sharp, and how can I do it so fast? And I tell them that it's just practice. The more I've done it, the easier it's gotten, and the more I understand. Homework can also make concepts clear. It also can allow time for students to study outside of the classroom. It can show that you can learn in a library, at home, or maybe in a study group in a cafe. Learning is limitless. It can also give you time to learn core concepts. This is typically applied to younger students, so they can learn their alphabet and math skills and build it up with their parents, so whenever their parents can't help them as much, they can carry themselves. It also allows for the completion of classwork in case you run out of time. Homework can teach time management and responsibility. Let's all face it, we have to make time for something that we don't want to do, and in this case it's homework. But it does teach you time management. Practicing time management can also sharpen skills in independent thinking. It also can allow students to use their time productively. That way, I'm not wasting my time in front of a TV, but I'm actually taking the time to put my mind to use in getting homework done so I'm ready for class the next day. It builds good study habits, self-confidence, and work ethic. There's nothing better than walking into a classroom feeling prepared. You have your homework done, you turn it in, you understand the material, and you're ready to move on. And if you don't understand, you can talk to your teacher, and they might be able to help you understand so you're ready for the next step. Teachers give homework to develop perseverance and manage distractions. There are many distractions, but through homework, it can help you narrow in on a task that has to be done. And that really helps. It also teaches students how to follow directions. Homework builds communication. It creates communication between the students, teachers, the school, and their parents. Parents are more involved with their academic success of their child. Like I said with the course concepts, through communication, they help build those core concepts. It can help parents know what their child is learning at school, whether it be what you do today in school, or tell me something interesting. It gets a conversation sparked. It opens relationships in allowing teachers and parents to see where a student lies. If a student is having a hard time reading in a parent-teacher conference, the teacher may be able to tell the parent that that student is having a little bit trouble reading, or they're not on this level, and so the parent can maybe work to build those skills. And that takes communication. It can encourage teamwork. I'm pretty shy, and if I didn't have to do assignments with another person, sometimes I probably wouldn't. But through homework, I learned that talking to my peers isn't bad. And leading into the next topic, they can maybe phrase something in a different way so I understand it a little bit better than my teacher said it. It also helps students understand how well they understand the material. When a teacher gives back a homework assignment, it can tell you the good and the bad. And sometimes their little notes or seeing where I might be struggling, it can really help because I don't want to find that out on a test, and that's where homework can help with that. Lastly, a good thing to remember is quality over quantity. It doesn't matter how much homework you give if your students aren't understanding or are trying to rush through the assignments without understanding the material they're being given. Homework is meant for the students to understand and be able to engage in classroom activities outside of the classroom. Homework is found to be more effective when it's reviewing or reinforcing already taught material. This is where that saying, practice makes perfect, comes into play. Homework doesn't have to be long and complicated, but it should be clear and easy to understand as well as engaging and challenging. If you have quality homework, then homework can spark further interest and creativity in the future. Now that you've heard the pros, with the cons, why teachers shouldn't give homework. Take it away, Nicole.
So as you can tell, there are many pros to homework, but studies have shown that there are just as many, if not more, cons to homework. It has shown that it can be quite dangerous to many students and children in the academic world. It often shows that it doesn't have many results to it. It isn't healthy in every home. It truly affects social development in most children, and it increases stress levels in most students. So if it isn't effective most of the time, then why keep it around? The biggest negative effect to homework is that it really has no proven results to it at all. Most students end up having a negative attitude towards homework at the end of the day because all the homework that gets piled onto them leads them to feeling overwhelmed and they don't want to do it. Teachers in schools always say that they want quality over quantity, but when they give them all that homework, then it ends up having the opposite effect. Most students always just end up cheating on their homework because they just want to get it done as soon as possible and want to get it out of the way. So really all that homework just has no good at all, or is no good. And if the student doesn't know how to do the homework or they need help on it and they don't have any help outside of school, then the homework doesn't do any good at all. So really, is this homework doing any good if they don't have any help or the homework, there's no results to it? Like I previously mentioned, some students don't have access to help outside of school. In some cases, home life isn't always the healthiest. Some parents have little to no interest in their students' academic life. And some parents have no idea how to help their kids at all. In my case, when I was younger and I would bring home math problems, my parents had no idea how to help me out. And if I didn't know how to answer the problems myself, I feel like I wouldn't get them done, and I'd be scared that I wouldn't get my homework done and my teachers would yell at me and it would just become a big chaos in my house. And it can also sometimes cause friction between the parents and the child. The parents could yell at the children, and then the children would be worried that they wouldn't get their homework done in time, and it can just cause fighting in the household, which can also lead to even more cheating because then the children want to get their homework done in time so that the parents aren't yelling at them anymore, which just can become a problem all around in the household. So to eliminate all those worries in the house, it's even more of a reason to eliminate homework altogether, to bring if you leave the homework and all of the academic in the classroom, then you don't have to worry about all those issues altogether. Another really important aspect to school and growing up is social development. Teachers would always say to us that they wanted us to be a part of the school more and extracurricular activities. But that's really hard to do when you have 6+ hours of school and most students had jobs. Plus you had to go home and do all this homework that they would pile on to us. So most students didn't have time for all that stuff that they wanted us to do. They also would say that studies have shown that students who play more get better grades. But with all the homework that they would give us, most students that would go home after they did all the homework, we don't have time to do all that when we would stay home or stay up till 12, 1, 2 in the morning and then have to wake up at 8 a.m. to go to our classes. And then after you do that every single day of the week, it's just too tiring to do all those extracurricular activities. It also leaves hardly any time to develop and grow into the person that you realize who you're supposed to become, especially for younger kids, to develop new skills and have extra clubs and extracurricular activities that they're supposed to have. So if we left all of the learning for the classroom, like I've mentioned, then that would just make it a whole lot easier for us to join those extracurricular activities and realize what we wanted to do. On average, students have 10 minutes of homework a day per grade level. So if you're in first grade, you have 10 minutes of homework per night. Now, many students would agree that this is no longer accurate. The amount of homework given each night has greatly increased. College students on average have 3 hours of homework each night. Now, this increases stress levels immensely, which in the end just results to a burnout for many students, which for the education system just ends up having the opposite effect. It's supposed to be there to have a better future and a better outcome for many students, and if they end up in a burnout, that just has the opposite effect, which is not what we want. As you can tell, homework has many pros and many cons, and there's never one true side as to whether it is truly good or truly bad. Homework has always been a debatable topic throughout many years, and nobody can ever tell if it is the best thing and it's really helping students, or if it's the worst thing and it needs to be taken away and kept in the classroom. And teachers have been going back and forth for many years. They can never decide, and same with the schools. So whichever way you decide, just think for yourself. If it were to be taken away today, how would you feel about it?